Hold up, fellas. Ever feel like you're trying to crack a secret code just to know if a girl is into you? Wondering if that smile meant something more, or if she was just being nice? Well, today we're handing you the Decoder Ring. We're diving into 13 real, scientifically backed body language signs that practically scream, "I'm interested." And because we don't want you wasting your time on someone who's not feeling it, we're also revealing the #1 crystal clear body language sign that says, "Nope, not happening." So buckle up. Here are 13 body language green lights that show she likes you, plus the ultimate red flag to watch out for. 13. The accidental brush or lingering touch. This goes a step beyond just being in your personal space. When a woman is attracted to you, she might create opportunities for brief physical contact that could initially seem accidental, but when noticed in pattern, can be quite telling. This could be a brush of her hand against yours as you reach for something, a fleeting touch on your arm while she's making a point in a conversation, or even a slight lean against you when you're standing close in a crowded place. The key here is the lingering aspect or the repeated nature of these touches. A truly accidental brush is usually just that, quick and without much attention. However, if you notice her hand seems to stay on yours for a fraction of a second longer than necessary, or if she finds multiple small excuses to touch your arm or shoulder throughout your interaction, it suggests she's comfortable with physical closeness and might be testing the waters to see how you respond. This subtle physical contact can be a way for her to create a more intimate connection without being overtly obvious. It's a gentle way of breaking the touch barrier and signaling her comfort and interest in being physically near you. 12. She adjusts her clothing or accessories in your presence more deliberately. We touched on subtle grooming earlier, but this sign involves more deliberate and noticeable adjustments to her appearance, specifically when she knows you're looking or when you're directly interacting. This isn't just a quick hair flip, it's a more conscious effort to ensure she looks her best for your gaze. She might straighten her dress or shirt, smooth down wrinkles that weren't really there, adjust her necklace so it sits just right, or even subtly reapply a touch of lip gloss while maintaining eye contact or while you're talking. These actions indicate a heightened awareness of her appearance in your presence and a desire to be seen favorably by you. It suggests that your opinion matters to her and that she's making a conscious effort to present herself in an attractive way. This deliberate attention to her appearance when you're around is a stronger signal than the more subconscious preening behaviors and indicates a more focused interest in how you perceive her visually. She's your mirror image, subtly. What makes mirroring such a powerful clue is that most of the time, like 99%, it's a totally automatic sign of genuine interest. She can't help but do it. People subconsciously copy each other's movements and posture to show they feel comfortable and trust each other. So, if you notice her subtly doing the same things you are with your body, it could be an early sign that she feels good around you and wants you to feel it too. Maybe she leans in when you do, or rests her hand on the table around the same time you do. It's all about creating a silent connection. Her hair becomes her playground. Similar to mirroring, playing with her hair can be a way of flirting, whether she knows she's doing it or not. But this one often goes beyond just feeling comfortable. Psychologists say that playing with hair is a form of preening. Basically, she's trying to look good for you. Maybe she's twirling it around her finger, flipping it over her shoulder, or even just touching it a lot while she's talking to you or when you're nearby. It's a sign that she's aware of you and wants to make a good impression. Her eyes lock onto yours and stay there. Generally, women are pretty selective about who they make direct eye contact with, so if a woman looks straight into your eyes for more than just a quick glance, think longer than 2 to 3 seconds, it's a pretty good sign that she finds you interesting, maybe even literally eye-catching. This kind of sustained eye contact shows she's engaged with you and what you're saying, and it can also create a feeling of intimacy and connection. She sets the stage for you to approach. When a woman might want to talk but wants you to be the one to start the conversation, she'll often do something pretty obvious to make it easy for you. She'll simply position herself where you can easily see her. Maybe she'll stand near you, walk past you slowly, or make sure she's in your direct line of sight. By itself, it might not seem like much, but the truth is, if a girl is really trying to flirt, this is often the very first move she'll make. She's putting herself out there, making herself available for an interaction. So, keep your eyes peeled for her strategically placing herself in your orbit. She enters your personal bubble and maybe even your intimate zone. If she's coming across the room to talk to you, pay attention to how close she gets. If she stops within about 4 feet, she's officially entered your personal space. And that usually means she probably wants to talk to you. But what if she gets even closer, within about 2 feet? That's moving into what's known as the intimate zone, the space we typically reserve for close friends, family, and romantic partners. If she's comfortable being that close to you, especially if you haven't known her long, you're likely doing a good job of making her interested. She's physically closing the distance, which often reflects an emotional closeness or a desire for one. You might catch her nostrils flaring without her realizing. When you think about flirtatious body language, flared nostrils probably aren't the first thing that comes to mind, and it's likely not something she'd want you to notice consciously. That's because, unlike some other body language cues, most women don't actually mean to do it. Nostril flaring can be a subconscious physiological response to interest and even a bit of arousal. It happens because when we're intrigued or excited, our bodies take in more oxygen. So, if you happen to notice her nostrils subtly widening when she's talking to you or looking at you, it can be a telltale sign that she's comfortable letting her guard down around you, and that she's genuinely engaged in the interaction, perhaps even in a way she's not fully aware of. She draws your attention to her lips, subtly or not so subtly. If a woman is really interested after talking to you for a while, she might step up her flirtatious moves by subtly or not so subtly bringing your attention to her lips. This could be as simple as her briefly touching them with her fingers while she's talking, maybe even licking them slightly, or it could be a more deliberate action like reapplying a fresh coat of lipstick right in front of you. Whatever the method, if she's drawing your gaze to her lips or any other suggestive part of her body, for that matter, you can be pretty sure it's intentional. She's signaling that she's thinking about physical intimacy and wants you to notice. Her feet are pointing directly your way, even if her body is turned slightly. So she's standing close, you're having a good conversation, and she's laughing at your jokes. Sounds like a win, right? Not necessarily, because even though she might seem to be giving you her full attention with her face and upper body, her feet might secretly be telling a different story, that she wishes she was somewhere else. Our feet often subconsciously point in the direction of where our true interest lies. So if you want to know if you're really where she wants to be, try paying attention to where her feet are pointing, not just her face. If her feet are firmly directed towards you, it's a good sign her whole being is engaged. Her pupils dilate and she gives you quick sideways glances. If you tend to make weak or fleeting eye contact like many guys do, you could be missing out on a lot of the non-verbal signals women send. Two subtle but hugely telling giveaways are dilated pupils and quick sideways glances. Dilated pupils can be an involuntary sign of attraction and interest because our pupils tend to widen when we're looking at something we find appealing. A quick sideways glance, often accompanied by a slight smile, can be a more conscious, playful way of checking if you're looking at her and gauging your reaction. Both of these signals are often fleeting, so you need to be observant. But they can be strong indicators that whatever you're doing is working well and that she's definitely noticing you. She shows you her neck, a vulnerable and often flirtatious display. As you're learning, when a woman is really flirting, her instincts can take over. And one of the clearest, often subconscious signs that a woman might be into you is when she presents and trusts you with one of the most vulnerable parts of her body, her neck. This area contains major blood vessels and isn't typically exposed unless someone feels safe and comfortable. So if she starts to emphasize her neck by gently pulling her hair to one side, tilting her head in a way that exposes her neck, or even subtly touching her neck, it's often a strong, primal sign of attraction and trust. She's subconsciously signaling that she feels safe, and perhaps even desires a closer, more intimate connection with you. She touches you with intent, breaking the friend zone barrier. Usually, the ultimate giveaway that you've moved beyond just friends and into more romantic territory is when she starts to ramp up the physical touching, and it feels intentional, not just accidental or platonic. This might involve her placing her hand on your hand while you're talking, lightly grazing your leg with her foot under the table, hugging your arm if she says she's cold even if it's not that chilly, or starting to lean on your shoulder when you're standing next to each other. However she chooses to do it is up to her, but if she's initiating physical contact that feels more than just friendly, She might finally be telling you that you don't have to try so hard to get her attention anymore. She's already interested. The number one body language red flag, the crossed arms of doom. If there's one body language sign that should always be an immediate red flag, it's crossed arms. When a woman crosses her arms in front of you, it can be saying a lot of things, and none of them are good for your chances. Not only do crossed arms often signify general disinterest in you or what you're saying, but in some cases, it can even be a way for her to guard herself because you're making her feel uncomfortable. In fact, the best case scenario, if you see her crossing her arms, is that she's cold, which if you think about it isn't exactly great news either. The bottom line is this: if you see her consistently crossing her arms when you're around, you might already be past the point of no return, and it might be better to just move on and focus your energy elsewhere. Those are 13 powerful body language signs that show she's likely interested, and the one sign you definitely don't want to see. If you found this helpful, let us know with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights. And while you're here, check out these other great videos. Thanks for watching.